Hey there, folks. Welcome back. So, last episode we set up our day night cycle. We got our skylight running to change our ambient color in the world. And I also set up our delegate from our Chronomanager for our time broadcast. As you can see, sort of in the top left, you can see we're getting new hour is. I had put that in at the end of that last episode and then I deleted it. I added it back just to show for the start of this episode. So I'm just going to quickly get rid of all of this and get rid of our last hour variable. We don't need that. Compile and save. And I'm actually going to close out of the editor because this episode we're going to be working on subscribing to that delegate. This is probably going to be a short episode, as that's actually pretty much the last thing we need to do with our Chronomanager. So what we're going to do here is open up our regrowing harvest actor. And as you can see, we have a comment in here, subscribe to time change delegate. So what we need to do with this one, we're going to want to go back to our Chronomanager, and we actually want to grab that. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've done this. I think, is it just this? Dot add unique dynamic this. I think we actually need to include a reference to that. So Chronomanager header. So I'm just going to grab that here. This might be off, but anyway, so what we're going to want to also add in, sorry, I forgot to grab the header here. We need to define a function, a public function. Void on time changed f time data, and it's time data. I believe that's it. So I do apologize, my voice is a little off. Got a bit of a froggy throat, so I'm going to create that. And I believe it is just this. I think it's just that. Oh, no, that is from... Sorry. Go back to our source. We need to include the class reference there, I believe. Not external. Why am I screwing this up? I've worked on this before, I swear. Okay. A non-static member. Or is that get actor of class? No, that's the... Yeah, I remember why now. Include Kismet gameplay statics. Get world, get actor. No, it's U gameplay statics, get actor of class. ATF Chronomanager base static class. That's world context. That was it. Sorry. Get world. Get world. If I could spell. And then, yeah, it needs to be a cast. That's why. ATF Chronomanager base. All right, and then it is time manager. Oh. Okay, sorry. It's been a little while since I've worked on this. My brain's a little fuzzy. So when you're subscribing to it in C++, I'm hoping this is going to work. We'll deal with this in a second. You need to get a reference to your parent object you want to subscribe to. In this case, we're getting a reference to our Chronomanager, and we are adding the dynamic, add unique dynamic. Basically, we're saying, look, the time manager has this delegate. We want to subscribe to it. What we had done in the level blueprint was this. And we're subscribing to it with this on-time change function. We're not going to do anything with it yet, but we need to add in our failsafe if is valid. If it's not valid, time manager. We want to log error and return. We're done. Actually, in here we want to add super begin play. Okay, so I'm going to throw a breakpoint here just because I want to make sure this is actually going to work when we get to it. And I'm going to build and launch an editor. And as soon as this is back into the editor, I will be back. I'll pause the video now for the sake of time. And about 1 second after I pause the video, it threw an error. So let's take a look. What are we complaining about here? Excuse, we're compiling this. Error syntax. Oh, we're missing a reference to our time data. It's an unknown class. So let's throw that in here. Nope, it's there. Why are you complaining about that then? Oh, I'm looking at the Chronomanager. That's why. So I throw that there. Now this should fix that. I'm going to actually just check. It should fail pretty quickly if that doesn't fix the issue. I could actually probably throw that into the source instead of the header because we don't need to know about it here. But yeah, there we go. So actually I'm going to go struct ftime data. I'm going to move this into the source file just because we don't need to know that in the header. And again, the reason being that you don't want to include things in the header unless you absolutely have to is any class that references this header file, so our regrow harvest actor, it is then going to go, okay, well, it has all of these includes as well. I need to look at all of their information. It's like a nest, like Russian nesting dolls. You look at your particular class, so we're looking at this. It is the outer one. Okay, so in there, I need to also look at core minimal, and I also need to look at this one. So, but that's the reason. So let's try this one more build. Hopefully this actually works. Talking a strong game, and I haven't tried it yet. So, okay, so that's successfully built. And in this case, I'm just going to leave it running, the video recording, while we hop into the editor. As I said, this is going to be a pretty short episode, so I'm not expecting there to be much in the way of concern about delay. All right, so we're in the editor. Bring my, come on, content browser, behave. There we go. I'll bring my content browser open. We're going to go into our blueprint, content, project, folder, blueprints, into our dev folder. I don't think we have a regrowing actor in here. Chronomanager, door, harvest, no, we don't. Okay, so we're going to create a new regrow, harvest actor base, and this is just going to be dev bp regrow test, because I'm not actually going to be using this at all. We're going to save that, and we are just going to throw it into the world, because that's all we need to have it in the world for when we hit play. So, and just for reference, we're going to hop over in our regrow. On our begin play, we have a breakpoint. So we should be hitting that when we hit play if everything's working. So hit play. We hit that. So we're going to hop over, and let me guess. Time manager is unidentified. Unable to bind delegate to. Oh, yeah, okay, so stop. So this was a mistake I made. In our regrow, we need this, the binding function, the one that's going to be called when the broadcast is made. It needs to be a U function so that the editor knows about it. So I'll try this again. This should build pretty quick, I hope. I say that, and this will take 10 minutes this time around because my system seems to have no rhyme nor reason. Okay, I had missed this one here. There we go, it's building. Okay, give me the editor window. There we go. Okay, so you notice we're missing the regrow. Actually, I'm going to clean up this folder. Create folder, generic. Lighting, cylinder. Actually, we don't want the lighting in there. So cylinder block down. Just doing this to help clean up the stuff we are not currently working with. Put that into the generic folder. Lighting I'll leave, playground, all of that can go into generic as well. And this is just to try and keep things easily accessible in our outliner while we're doing all of this testing. So move that out of the way. We got our door, Chronomanager, harvest test, which is our mushroom, and our trees in the back. So, however, I'll pull my content browser open. You can see because we saved it, that regrow test is there. And I can't spell it right. So regrow test. And just save that. So drag that into the world, literally just drop it in. There's nothing for it right now. Try play again. So this, as mentioned, it's going to not show much here because of that. Let's continue. We're not hitting any errors. So that works there. Okay, so that does look like we are bound. So what I'm going to do for the purpose of being able to test things is I'm going to drop out of this. We're going to add in two other functions here. U function blueprint native. Void dev test delegate, and we're going to include this information here. And then the notation. So this is literally just something I'm throwing in now so we can make sure this is working and don't have to worry about it after that for now. So we need to define our dev test. We're not going to do anything there. Dev test delegate time data. Literally that's all we need to do here. Launch this again. Hopefully this goes through in a timely fashion. Because again, like I said, my system, oh, there we go. But yeah, something I've experienced when you're building through Visual Studio, sometimes you make a tiny change and it'll take forever to build. And other times like this, thankfully, you make a tiny change and it builds pretty quickly. So with that, we're going to go into our regrow blueprint, open full blueprint editor, excuse me, functions, override, dev test delegate. So we're just going to do what we did in our level blueprint. Current if I could spell. Too many O's. Current hour. We want this to be an integer. We're going to break our time data. Oh, I hate that. Hey. Why are you... Shift. Man, I can't even remember the key combinations. So we're going to grab that, do our equals, branch. If our current hour and our new hour are the same, we won't want to do anything, but if they're different, we're going to set our current hour to the new value, and we're going to print string. We're going to append, just so it is very clear what we're doing, new hour, compile and save. Move these out of the way. I didn't save any of that. Oh, typical me. I dropped out of the editor without saving everything. So we're going to drop our regrow test in there, and we're going to hit play. Should hit our breakpoint. I'm going to get rid of that now. I'm going to hit continue. And hopefully you can see new hour 13. Now I specifically used the different wording of new hour instead of new hour is, so you could see it's not something that was left in the level blueprint. But yeah, so there you go, folks. This is a very quick episode. I don't want to add in anything else right now, just simply because I'm not 100% sure on what my next part is. Actually, no, I'm going to finish up with a harvest delegate, a harvest actor, because we never finished that when I created that. So I'm going to close out of the, actually, I'm going to open up our blueprint for our regrow harvest actor, and I'm going to get rid of this because we don't want to have bad references in our blueprint. We can, but it causes problems when you build and launch. So close out of that now. I'm going to quickly fix this here. Generic playground, all of this can go in here. Lighting, I'm going to pull out our directional lighting and put that into the parent. Lighting can go into generic. And then player start, and these base objects we don't need. They can go up into the generic folder. And then you can see, again, this is all of our basic information. Save all, and it's saving every single item in the map that we just modified. So that should fix everything there. Now, with that, we'll close out of the editor. And we're going to spend pretty much the rest of this in episode working on our harvest actor. So I'm going to close out of all of these other files we don't need. So we do need to add or make some changes here, because a lot of this was done at the time because I thought I was going to have our delegate, actually I will pull up our Chronomanager here a second. I thought I was actually going to have multiple delegates for this, and I realized after some thinking and some digging around, having what, a minute delegate, an hour delegate, a day delegate, a month delegate, and a year delegate, so that's what, five delegates for the time change was overkill. We could just use this one delegate with our time data to identify everything, or to broadcast all of that information. So with that though, I just realized we do need to actually bring this one, or do we? No, we're gonna get rid of these though, because we don't need them. I'm going to grab our struct, our time data struct. I'm going to here, last harvest. And this is going to be a U property, but we're only going to just have that visible everywhere. We're not going to be able to change anything. Days since last harvest we don't actually need. Sorry, my mute button key combination apparently is also the collapse combination. So what we're going to be doing here, the reset harvest and the on time, like, bunch of these, we're going to need to do basically rework this. So excuse me, reset harvest we don't need to make any changes there. That is just basically restoring it to the ready to harvest state. We don't need this on day change. Actually, I can get rid of this function because we got rid of it and that call there. Let's see, item regrowth, number of days to regrow. Actually, I'm just trying to think. Maybe I do on day change. Actually, no, we do want to keep some of this information in here. Days since last harvest, we do want to keep that one. So the reason being is we're going to just do a simple thing here. If time data dot day does not equal harvest, what did I call that? Last harvest. Last harvest. Why are you not, what? Last harvest dot day. Why are you being a pain there? We want to do no, that's, I'm trying to think how to go about this. So we're wanting to do the I'm trying to think because we want it to be daily based. I don't want to go down to the hour. No, we're gonna do int days since harvest. No, this is one of those cases where you really need to stop and think. Do you want the degree of fidelity that it resets like 40 days exactly to the hour and minute, things like that. So because yeah, we didn't pull in our harvest. So let's look at our harvest actor. So we have all of this here. Interact implementation. I can't. Harvest state. Be hidden game manager. I noticed there's a bug there. We want this to be, if it's harvested, we want it hidden in game. And then in here, we want the same thing. If it's harvested, we want it to be no collision. Otherwise, we want it to be any collision enabled query in physics. So this was a bug, or I wouldn't say a bug, a glitch in the code, because if we hadn't harvested the actor, or for the regrow actor, if it's regrown after and we were loading it from a save, we're going to update the harvest state and it's just instantly going to be harvested. So how do we want to do this? I'm trying to think. I'm going to save everything. So Actually, no, I know what to do. So if time data dot day is equal to last harvest, yeah. I don't want to call that last harvest, harvest tracking, because last harvest is a very misleading name. Harvest tracking, so we want harvest tracking dot day. We don't need to do anything. We're just going to return. Otherwise, we're going to call our on day changed and harvest tracking equals time data. Yeah. Okay, so I apologize for that little random sort of diatribe in there while I figured this out. My brain was trying to piece together how would be the most logical way to do this. So what we are doing, and actually we need to add a we need to add a function in here as well. I'm trying to think, because we need to override oh, no, I know what we can do. Harvest actor, we want to pick harvest actor base. So we need interact implementation. So we are going to grab that, throw that into our public, and create the definition for that. And then what we're also going to want to do is our harvest actor here. We're going to want to just call back to this. Okay, so just to explain what we're doing again, my brain running through, we needed a way to set this value whenever we harvested something. So, and I was just thinking, well, if you pick half a tree, it's only going to regrow half a tree, like an apple tree. I understand that falls off in particular seasons. And that's something I'm going to expand on in the future, that in the winter months, certain things lose their food. Like an apple tree, it drops all its apples in, say, September, so on and so forth. So, anyway, so I didn't do anything there, did I? Edit, undo, redo, what did I do? Oh, yeah, got rid of that. Okay, so what we're doing here is we are overriding the harvest actors method here. We're saying, okay, we have our own custom logic we want for this. Even though our parent has this function, we're overriding it. In our code, we're saying, okay, we're going to catch this call. We're going to pass it through to our parent, so the normal brain not working. The normal function is called. Actually, I'm going to create this as a pointer. Copy that and undo that. Or sorry, cut that, undo that. I'm going to go back to our class time manager. We don't need to make this exposable to blueprints or anything like that. All we're doing is we're storing a pointer reference to our time manager, because this particular actor sort of needs to know about it a little more. And then we also need to add a function to our time manager. I'm going to go to our Chronomanager base, header file, and down in our public section, ftime data, get current time const, and this is just going to return, what do we call it, current time? Current time. All right, and so literally all we're doing is we've created a constant function that's saying, I need to grab what the current time is. So I'm going to close out of that. We don't need to keep our harvest actor open or the base in here though. So I'm going to get rid of this and just say time manager equals this. If time manager isn't valid, log error return. And then down here, it's going to be the same thing. If not is valid, time manager, I'm going to return. Otherwise, we are going to go harvest tracking equals time manager get current time. No, get current time. So what we've done, just to explain this, I'm going to figure out if I can do this in the editor and show what's happening. When we interact with it, we're calling our parent class, which is our harvest actor. And that's going to execute all of this logic. It's going to set the B is harvested true, item count, whatever. And actually, that's what I was going to base it on. I was only going to do it when it was fully harvested. Sorry, just seeing this reminded me. So we're going to execute that. We're then going to see, okay, do we have a pointer to our time manager? Because if we do, that means we're worried about our time of day. We're worried about regrowing. If we don't have a time manager, the actor isn't going to be able to regrow. Error. Oh, nope, need to add my to-do in there. And just so everyone's clear, the reason why I add the / to-do : is it shows up in your task list when you do that. So, log error for no time manager. All right, and then what we want to do is if B is harvested, actually we can just add that up there. If the time manager isn't valid or it's not B is harvested, we don't care. We're just going to return. But then we're going to log an error. No, we don't want to do that. And then we want if not B is harvested. And if it's not harvested, we're also going to return, but this one isn't an error. And if it is harvested, we're going to do our harvest track. And that's going to set our current time here that we're using. Excuse me. If it is on time change, we're going to say, okay, is the day changed? If it hasn't, we're not going to do anything. If the day has changed, we're going to call our on day changed, and we're going to update our harvest tracking. I actually think I want to do this the other way around. Nope, that's okay. Now we're just going to make sure our save game tags are in where we need. Days since last harvest. Item regrowth amount is 1. Number of days to regrow, we don't need that. So those two we want to be save game. And yeah, okay. So I'm going to build this quickly, and once I'm back in the editor, I'm going to see if we can get this to work in a blueprint. All right, so yeah, just after I paused the video, it threw an error that I caught, and we do need to move our time data include over to the header, just because we're using this. So we're going to get rid of the struct, and we can get rid of it down here as well. And that's what this error is here. in the header. So just for anyone who's not 100% sure reading through this, first of all, it's the file that has the problem. So tf regrowing harvest actor base.h, the header file on line 25, which is the, well, technically it's line 26, but line 25 is the attributes for our harvest tracking f-time data. Harvest tracking uses undefined struct f-time data. And that is likely because it's a save game. So we needed to go through and move the include to the header file from the source file. So it's going to build that. Now this one should build perfectly fine. And with that, I will be back once the editor is up and running. All right, so the editor's up. I'm just trying to think how we can go about getting this working. So we can probably follow the same suit as our mushroom, actually. So I've just opened up our regrow test actor. I'm just going to find my mushroom. Can't remember. There it is. So harvest mesh is going to be the mushroom. Compile and save. I'm going to go back to our defaults. Current hour. What? Oh, that's from our logging. Okay, we don't need that. Get rid of you. Go back to our defaults. Compile. Should get rid of it there. Number of days to regrow 1. Harvest tracking. Okay. So with that, let's see if this actually works. So I'm going to close out of there. That is our regrow test. I'm going to move it up here onto there. I think we got a breakpoint. Nope. All right. Now, default, because I haven't said anything, we're going to... Oh, what's not working there? So let's go into our interactive implementation that we did. I'm going to go through here and hit F. Oh, I know why. Derp. Stop. We're going to open up our blueprint again. Gotta make sure there. The issue we have is inventory item. BP mushroom 1. Harvest mushroom. Compile and save. We'll try this again. So we have, just for ease, we have pick mushroom. And this should, I'm hoping, say harvest. Yeah, harvest mushroom. Hit F. Okay, is our time manager valid? It is. Harvested is true. Harvest tracking is there. And I'm going to drop that breakpoint so that's working. And we want on our day change, I'm going to just throw a breakpoint there. Hit continue. We're going to go back into, and there obviously there is the UI aspect that's missing there. Okay, so we've had 1 day pass, and days to regrow is 1. And now, this may take a little bit here, because, actually, here, let's go Chronomanager. We're going to drop that down to 0.5 again, 0.25. It's not dynamic. What am I doing? We'll just let that go through. Regrow test. So yeah, this is taking a little bit longer than I would hoped, but I don't want to start screwing around too much here. This will eventually tick over. Okay, that's ticked over, but we didn't hit our breakpoint. Why is that? Reset harvest. I'm gonna do that. Why is... Okay, let's see what's going on here. Pull this back over. Harvest actor base. I'm going to do this. That might also be part of the problem. We might have some weird behavior going on here. So let's hop back in. We're going to hit play. Okay, so we are calling our harvest actor. Remaining equals 1. Remaining minus minus. If update harvest state is harvested true. So call that. That is valid. We're setting that to the current time. Okay. (22, 23, 24). It should, right there, it should have triggered. Why did that not trigger? I think there's a flaw in this one. For some reason, I don't think that's being hit. If time data dot day equals harvest data harvest tracking dot day. Okay, so I'm going to stop at this session. I'm going to change our time of day down to 0.1. And we're going to play. Bring this back over. And I just realized there is a flaw in my code. I'm going to continue through that. Go back to the editor, just to Visual Studio for a second. Here, we want to check if it's harvested, because otherwise this is going to be happening at all times, and we don't want that. So go back in here though, check our Chronomanager. Oh, there we go. We just hit. So we hit our day change. So we're going to go step in with. We're not. What? Why is on day change not being called? But it is, because day since last harvest is 1. (21, 22, 23). Okay, there we go. We hit on day change again. Harvest tracking. We're updating that. Okay. But none of our other breakpoints are being hit. That is still valid. Okay, we're able to harvest it multiple times. So, all right. So there's obviously some other deeper code level issues here. One thing though, I'm going to quickly fix. If not B is harvested, we don't care. We're just going to return. That is the one I was saying. If it isn't harvested, we don't care. If the day is still the same, we don't care. Otherwise, then we want to do it. There is obviously some other logic errors going on here. It might be a case I need to add overrides for these. I'm not 100% sure. However, this episode is sort of running at coming towards the end of my episode length, so I don't want to sort of keep digging into this. Let me just think.
Hey there, folks.
Yeah, we're hitting. So just looking at the time, we're hitting 45 minutes, and this could take me a little bit. So, what I'm gonna do between episodes, I'm going to do some digging into what the problem was or is. Figure out how to fix it, but I won't actually fix it, and I will fix it on the explain what the problem was in the next episode. So, with that though, folks, thank you for watching. As always, any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I respond to those as often as I can. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.